was on watch.
Here we go again. We have an esteemed guest in the building today.
My man.
You know what I'm saying? My man, Big Co.
Big Co.
For those who know.
Corey Redding. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Hey, greetings everybody, man. I appreciate you brothers having me on, man. It's your boy Big Co. It's been a minute since we all got to chop it up in real life.
No doubt.
I want to know about how when y'all first met.
Man, so, like, honestly,
how did we first meet?
I can tell you the story, but
tell me the story.
I don't know if you want me to tell the story.
Tell
like,
again and again.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell the story. Tell the story.
So I met Ish through a girl that he was dating at the time, you know. Bashy.
Okay.
And Bashy's, Ish's girl's roommates was my girl's sweet mate in the old house.
Okay. I remember now.
I used to run into you, you know, that back then, and then I think later, when I think it was when Ripnam had a place over at by the hill.
Right.
That's when I first knew that you was like started rhyming and stuff.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because I used to see you around campus all the time. Right. Like we was cool, we chop it up, like say what up, you know. But one night, Ripnam had a party, they had a keg there.
Right.
And you just, because we was always in ciphers, like back then, like everybody was always in ciphers. And I'm like, oh, that's the kid from the dorm, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the kid.
And he stepped into the circle band, it was like, okay, it's got bars, you know, like, it's got bars. And then we've been kind of rocking ever since, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so shout out to Bashy.
Y'all ever battle?
Nah, I was scared of this dude.
Y'all never battle?
Now, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with y'all, man. Like, as much as I was known for being like an MC, like I was like more marketing than like straight up, because this dude had like for real raw, like get at you like in a battle type shit, and I wasn't on that level. Like he was more on the level with Fort Knox.
He was hungry.
Yeah.
But we have been in a situation, we were at a battle that we didn't battle each other, because they used to have those battles downtown after I left.
Yeah.
And I came up for a battle, and I got smoked in the first round by some cat. But I think it was really more because they knew him, they didn't know me because I had been gone for a while. But like my whole MCing was like at the party get it cracked.
Right, I wasn't
trying to. That wasn't my
party starter.
Yeah,
right.
We needed us too.
Right. You was like, because honestly, real talk, you were one of the first guys that I ever like looked up to as far as.
Respect, bro.
Nah, real rap. Listen, because I remember it was. Like top dogs at UGA was you and Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Fort Knox was the battle MC though. He was the dude, yo, you romp, let's battle. 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 That was like his catchphrase. Yo, son, you romp, let's battle. You know what I'm saying? Corey was the dude who got the party started. You know what I'm saying? Just had the bars, just, you know what I mean? Just going to the bar. He just started spitting and just about whatever.
And everybody knew him.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, at that time, what he's talking about, I didn't even freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had written bars.
Right.
I used to write bars or whatever, but I didn't freestyle until I left and, you know, went back to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just in that whole East Coast environment where that was just what it was. Like, everybody was just battling.
Yeah.
Everybody,
yeah.
So I had to learn. Actually, I learned from my cousin, shout out to Sean Parker, who... Like, he put me through this process called Freestyle Boot Camp.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Where like, it started in my grandmother's basement, where he just used to train me to be able to freestyle without saying yo.
Yeah.
Every time I say yo, he'd slide in and cut me up to the point where to the point he started doing it so much that I started, like,
not doing yo anymore.
Not doing yo.
Right.
Once I got to the point where I could, where me and him could just go back and forth without me saying yo, then the second phase was he'd get some beat tapes.
Come on.
Get like a beat tape. You know what I mean?
Run through it.
A bag of some bud, a whole bunch of blunts. And we would just ride around all day, and we just had this whole agreement, like, we couldn't speak to each other unless we were freestyling.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
we didn't do a show like
we
that.
would freestyle. We would freestyle, talk to girls. We would like the whole day. We couldn't speak.
Like, show me how you would do that, bro.
I'm not doing that right now. We'll get to it. We'll get to it on another day. We have more time to explore that. We'll get into it. But just literally, like, when we speak to each other, like, we'll have beats playing. Like, he'll have beats playing always, throughout the whole day, in the car, at the crib. And as we speak to each other, we would just freestyle everything.
Right.
Whatever we had to say to each other, we would freestyle it. You know what I mean? And then from there, then we started battling everything. Anything that looked like it rhymed, let's battle. You know what I'm saying? So, which led to us going to the Papa Wu studio and battling like a whole slew of Wu affiliates. And literally...
What year was this?
Oh, man, this was 99.
That's crazy that you say that because I was thinking about like the training sounds like some old Shaolin monk training.
That's what it was.
That's what it is.
That's what it was. It was like some, like you know what I mean? Like I would love to recreate that and do it to somebody else.
Real rap.
Because it
lyrical
really, like,
combat, man. Lyrical combat.
And that's the guy you faced in the battle when I came back. I had went through all of that. Like we went through. We almost got signed by Papa Wu. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like we was in the room because we went up. This is my man. His name is Dungeon, and he was a producer for Wu-Tang. And he was like, "Yo, y'all gonna be my secret weapon." We came up. We busted up from Jersey to go to New York, and we freestyled for him. He was like, "Yo, y'all gonna be my weapon." And we went to the Wu studio in the Billie Holiday building, and it was a whole. I mean, this was when they was deep.
Deep, yeah. The Killer Bees.
They was all in the streets.
Yeah.
They was all in the building. They was all in the. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because like my brothers, you know, had a security company in that building.
Cool.
So when I walked in, so at first I was like, okay, I'm a little bit, you know, I miss a lot of dudes, I don't know.
Right.
And then I seen my people, they had a security company called 786 Security. I saw my people, I was like, oh, okay. Gave them the salute. I was like, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we went upstairs, and when they turned us loose,
Come on.
yo, we ate the whole room.
Wow.
We ate the whole room. And Papa Wu was like, yo, we want to, you know what I'm saying? He's like, true story. He was like, yo, I want to offer y'all a deal, but rest in peace. But his deal, he wasn't going to give us an advance. He was going to give us some bud to sell at cheap prices.
Wow.
Wow.
Bottom line is, I was like, nah, you know what I mean? I was cool on that just because it's just a lot of different reasons.
You turned down that
That's a deal in
offer.
most places.
Yeah, I turned it down.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so after that, like literally after that, that's when I started getting to my bag as far as battling, freestyle battle. And then I moved back I got married, had a daughter, moved back to Georgia, battle Butter, battle Fort Knox, and the rest.
Hey, I didn't really know what a battle was that day, man. I kind of came into it just wanting to rhyme with people that I liked.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out good for me.
Man, I sliced Butter up. So
But it's like I showed up to the first fight Bruce Lee ever had with somebody he killed.
Right.
I was the...
But it's what like it,
I remember talking about your jacket.
Radio,
That's
dog.
what I remember.
All I remember is...
I remember the jacket. I remember killing the jacket you had on and some other stuff.
It was dope, dog. Y'all just don't understand, man. I was back in the early me. I was a beast.
Yeah, but
That didn't know
You
how
had
to
that gold leather jacket. You used to have like this.
Yeah, it was the gold leather. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
that,
Gold
man.
leather jacket.
I
Yeah.
destroyed
I
that
lived in
jacket.
Europe, so I came back with a different fashion sense. I got
And the
messed
thing
up.
about it,
Euro style.
He
Military.
remembered young-ish, so he like, you know how like you don't take nobody serious. You just like, and now the whole time he was going, I was like, I'm about to destroy. Son, like he don't even know, like you know what I mean? Because honestly, again, I gotta get credit. These two dudes that I looked up to in Athens, Georgia, as far as the freestyle, as far as rhyming, like Butter was one of the first guys. You know, I remember E introduced me to like, yo, Butter, like, you know what I'm saying? You had the band and
Aftermath.
Aftermath.
With Bird, shout out to Bird.
Shout out to Bird.
Shout out to
Crisis.
Shout out to Crisis,
for sure.
you know what I mean? So between Butter, Big Co, and Fort Knox, these dudes was like my role models.
Shout out to Fort Knox.
These was my role models, you know what I'm saying?
Davey.
And I was like, and I had to go elsewhere to get my skills up.
To sharpen your
Right,
weapon.
come
Yeah,
back
sharpen
and
the sword,
to be able to even compete
Word.
with these dudes.
Come on,
you know what I'm
hey,
saying? So to have these dudes later on in life, you know what I'm saying, give me props or whatever the case may be, it's real humbling, man, for me. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, no
Man,
doubt.
and shout out to Fort Knox, man. I don't know, like, I got a million stories I can tell about this dude, man. But
Word.
one of the greatest stories, like, and R.I.P. to Old Dirty Bastard.
I was just
ODP.
go there.
You know
Go
what I'm
there.
saying?
I'm
So,
glad
like,
you're here.
Back then, like, we used to go to the warehouse.
Was you there when
I was there.
Okay, good. Tell the
I
story.
was there.
I read about it in the source. I was in Jersey and I read about it in the source.
I was
Go ahead.
there, my dude.
Go
So
ahead.
we went to the warehouse one night and like I think ODB and some other members of the Wu was supposed to be performing, but like you said, they always travel deep. You know what I mean? So we was in the back, like we was drinking and like topping up with Ghost. Like Ghost was so chill. You know what I mean? Ghost was real chill that night. You know what I mean? So like one of ODB's brother, like his brother, was a rapper. You know, I thought he was a rapper. And so Shaq was just back there. Well, we called him Shaq back there. Fort Knox back there, just slicing cats up, dog, like left and right. And ODB, his brother, I guess he was feeling froggy. You know what I'm saying? So he stepped in the cypher with Shaq. Fort Knox ate him up. ODB tried to defend his brother. Rest in peace to the guy. But man, Shaq roasted him, dog. They got so upset, they left the club. They didn't even perform that night. Left the club, drove off shooting in the air. No bullshit.
Wow.
No bullshit. And like years later,
Fort Knox.
Years later, Ryan Cameron, right after ODB died, Ryan Cameron was telling this story on he was on B103 back then. So I called the radio station like, I was there that night, man. I'm gonna tell you who it was, because he couldn't remember who the MC was. You know, I was like, it's this cat named Fort Knox. He was like, man, I've been telling this story for 20 years. Nobody believe that shit, man. Like he say shit on the radio, but like nobody believe that shit. I'm like, man, I was there. I can corroborate your story, man.
Right.
But Shaq like roasted like 3 cats before he got to ODB. Like everybody that stepped up, like, and they got so angry they left.
Yeah.
Did not even perform.
They wrote about it in the source. I was in Jersey. I read about it in the source. I remember calling him like, yo, for real? He like, yeah, son.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Roasted
like,
cat.
Legendary, man.
Yeah, that's
Crazy. Ryan Cameron and I went to the same undergrad.
Oh yeah, he went to West Georgia. That's right.
Legendary.
Another story like with Shaq, like with Fort Knox, when I don't know if y'all were at the Fuji show, like so the Fuji's came
I was there
and performed.
I got to rap with them. I got to rap with them.
Legion Field. Legion Field.
They performed at Legion Field.
I was there.
And me and Dave had already talked about it before the show. Was like, we getting on stage.
Bro, that was one of the best days of my life.
That's the show where Lauren battled Wyclef.
Lauren battled Wyclef.
Yes, there we go.
And me and Dave battled on stage.
I remember that.
And then just kind of turned to the crowd and just got the crowd going.
Yeah.
And like the crowd was bananas, you know what I'm saying?
I was
and like,
right there with
and
you.
he'll tell you like after the show, and this was like before the score, so they was the Fugees, but they wasn't the Fugees. You know what I mean? Like, but Lauren was chopping up with. They had a show, and Butter got on this Carolina stuff. They had a show in Columbia like the next day, and she was asking me and Dave to go on tour with them. Straight up, no bullshit. I'll never forget. I told her, I said, my dad would kill me if I left. You know, like
reasonable, right?
Dave, and I'm telling these people that was there, they can verify this. Like she wanted us to go on tour with them. You know what I'm saying? Just based on what we did at that show.
Yeah, that was a great show, bro. It was one of the best shows of my life, man.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
And this thing about at that time, man, I was not even like, I was fledgling. Like I used to write rhymes, but like I'm looking at these dudes on stage with the Fugees, like.
Wasn't it around this time of year? It just felt so good.
It was always springtime, it was Day of Soul, which is normally in the spring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that was the Outkast show too. I think Outkast.
Yeah, Outkast. Yeah.
And then speaking of Aftermath, like one of the best nights of my life was because of y'all, man. I don't know if you remember when Farside came.
Yeah, that was one of the best nights of my life.
Were you there? Were you still in Jersey?
He had to be somewhere.
What year was that?
Man, I done had so many conversations with people. I'm like, you had to be there.
It was before then.
You had to be there. So like. Farside came perform for Day of Soul, and Aftermath, I don't know if Aftermath opened for them, but they had an end with them.
We opened for them.
They opened for them, right. So then somebody threw an after party after the show.
Jason Hammond on North Avenue.
Damn sure.
Hassan the Buddha King was the DJ at W.O.W. with Mushmouth.
I couldn't remember his government name. I've been calling him Hassan when I tell the story, you know what I'm saying? I knew him by Hassan, but Jason.
R.I.P. my brother.
Jason?
That's the news I've gotten over the years, because, you know, he was the reason I was on the radio weekly, so he was somebody I was close to, so I searched for him, and the news that I've gotten back is that, you know what, hey, we don't last forever, bro.
That's bad. You kind of derailed my story with that one, bro. But, you went from high to low.
Come
but
on,
bring
it back up.
They had an after party. They had a house off North Avenue.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I don't remember. Was it a party with, it was 2 apartments?
No,
it's a house.
They had a house.
Okay.
And then so Aftermath had the band set up, and I'm telling you, man, me, you, and Fat Lip was on the mic for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth, just pass the mic, pass the mic, pass the mic. And Fat Lip stayed on the mic. And then like I remember was it Buddha Brown, one of the other cats, I think it's Buddha Brown, I think his name was. he was like, y'all niggas still rapping, dude?
Yeah. Well, it's in you, it's in you.
Yeah, and they had Bud. Like, it was crazy, man. I think that might have been the first time I really spoke like some for real Cali Bud.
Yeah.
Like, we
Partying with those West Coast rappers.
Bro, that night was one of the best nights of my life. I know
from the start to the end.
The show was dope. The after party was dope. It was so many women there, some beautiful women there. You know
I remember waking up at the house that the after party had at the day.
I'm positive I spent the night there. Like, I'm positive.
It was that many people there.
And they had like this attic. Like,
and we weren't getting a lot of national acts in Athens, bro.
Nah, man, not back then for sure.
And that was a big deal.
And they had like this attic, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a loft upstairs. What was like all the smoking was going on. I'm talking about it was like clouds and clouds and clouds, and we was freestyling. That was like one of the best nights of my life, bro. Like,
and none of those houses exist anymore, bro.
They gone?
Oh, that is, yeah. North Avenue.
So shout out to Aftermath for making that happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm 46 years old, but that's still one of the top 10 nights of my life. You know what I mean?
Hey, you deserve it, bro.
I appreciate it, my brother.
Hip hop done that for me. Marcel, what's your oldest hip hop memory, bro?
Joe Louis Arena, man. LL Cool J, Run DMC, Beastie Boys.
How old were you then?
Curtis Blow. Man, I might have been about 12. And me and my partners, my homeboy Pookie, my partner named Zetrick.
That was that partner named Pookie.
Pookie.
Pookie had a couple of brothers, man, but he used to beatbox. And you know, there was this crew in Detroit called the Skinny Boys.
Skinny Boys.
Skinny Boys. Had a cat called a Human Jockbox. Yeah. So
Skinny Boys.
You know, we went down to the Joe Louis Arena, you know, because it was super packed. You know, we didn't have no tickets or nothing like that, but you know, because you know, major cats, Eric B and Rakim, they done came to town. They had this Fresh Fest concert or whatever. But Cool J, we wanted to see Cool J. You know, you wanted to see Cool J. You wanted to see Curtis Blow. You wanted to see DMC. DMC, we was pumping this jam that DMC was rocking at the time. Raising Hell, his joint, Kings from Queens, and from Queens Come Kings, on Raising Hell like the class with the lunch bell rings. That was one of the joints that we was really feeling. But I was Cool J. I was Cool J out at that time. I was LL'd out, but Rakim. So when they came, we went down to the Joe Louis Arena. You know, everybody standing around. You know, cats done got fresh. You know, cats from the east side, cats from the west side, North End, cats from Highland Park, and you know, I'm about 12. And I say this, y'all will definitely understand. It's a cat named MC Breed. Okay, Breed is from Michigan.
He from Flint, right? Yeah, he from Flint.
Okay, well,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Dang, yeah, I forgot about Breed.
So Breed comes down, you know, and one of my older brothers, we call him Squirrel, and my older brother Space. But this is my brother Rob, my brother Ed. You know, these are my older brothers. Well, actually, my brother Squirrel is cool with Breed, because when Breed would come from Flint, you know. Shout out to YBI.
Weren't they on Ichiban?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, shout out to YBI. If y'all don't know Young Boys Incorporated, but this was back off in the day. They was real. So when they come down, you know, we standing outside, everybody standing around. So when, you know, cats coming through fresh. So MC Breed is outside, but you know, he's another group called Top Authority.
Oh yeah, Top Authority.
Was it like 88, 89?
Yeah, this is like 87.
87?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, 86. So, you know, you got a lot of people, you know, just really out, you know. So, you know, the Skinny Boys, like I say, Human Jockbox and everybody. So, you know, cats trying to get on from Detroit to get in, you know, because if you ain't got no ticket, you know, Joe Louis, you ain't getting in. But so they started rapping outside, you know. A cat named Eveready started rapping. We had this show called The Scene, like Soul Train. The Scene was on channel 62 instead of Soul Train. Well, you know, I'm a young dude off in this thing, you know, and but my brothers know my skills. You know, I've been flowing in the basement. Okay, I've been able to rhyme for a long time. Okay, I've been freestyling before I ever started writing. So
that's crazy. Everybody has that. Everybody was freestyling before they was writing, except for me.
Yeah.
Word.
So we jumping off in this situation where they all standing around, and you know, cats battling. You know, they rapping though. They're just trying to get on. And my brother Squirrel was like, you know, really like, get in there. You know, go in there. You know, because you know, so my partner named Pookie, like I told you, Pook, he could beatbox. He fall off in the center with me, and this what I started doing. I'm trying to be a little LL at that time. You know, I was Duracell. non-stop the copper top, you know, okay? You throw a word, I throw a word, I'm gonna flow with it. So I jump on, we just rhyming back and forth, just back and forth, back and forth. But what was so hype about it was, like I told you, MC Bree. Bree noticed, though, like, hey, who is this? Who is this? So Eveready tells him who I am, like, you know, this little Mincy from the neighborhood, you know, his brother Squirrel, your partner. Not knowing when he came to my crib, though, down in the basement, I'm messing up my mama's records on her little thing. But I mean, I could write, but I mean, I could just flow. Start writing freestyling. I'm battling him, okay?
Wow.
To show you, I'm battling him. And, you know, at 12 years old, 12, 13, you know, cats like, well, don't know this little man. Well, fast forward to 9 years later, or 8 years later, I'm at Fort Valley State University.
Keith County.
Okay. Bree comes to do a homecoming concert for us at Fort Valley. 8-Ball, MJG, Raheem the Dream, couple of cats. So, you know, Goody Mob comes to this joint. So, you know.
Boy.
Yeah, you know, because, okay, my partner named B.O.W, who went to college with me, he was cool with the Dungeon family. My partner named Julian Lewis was cool with Rico Wade. They from the A. But B.O.W is the dude, they mentioned him in one of their songs. B.O.W got killed because B.O.W was cool. He stayed on my dorm with me and everything. So anyway, long story short, we at Fort Valley now. But I'm in mass comm at that time, so, you know, I'm helping running the homecoming concert, you know. I'm setting the acts up and everything. So, Bree comes through. You know, he was doing the song, Ain't No Future in Your Front.
Ain't no future in your front.
Okay.
In your front.
So, he's backstage, you know, we getting ready to come off, you know, and I started popping at him, you know, just like, what's up, man, you know, you don't remember me or whatever. And he was like, no, I don't remember you. I was like, my brother named Squirrel. You know, Squirrel. I say, YBI. Okay, trust me, if you from Michigan, you know who the YBI is, period. Okay? YBI is Young Boys Incorporated. They bigger than any group you know, period. Okay? Period. Wayne Wonder, they made $140 million. They made $140 million a year when cats didn't know what money was. Okay? And they was numbered brothers, okay? If you was over 18, you couldn't work. You had to act, you couldn't work if you was over 18. Reason being, over 18, you know, you outside of the juvenile status. But another conversation for another day. But that's sort of how it worked. When I tell him who my brother was, YBI, he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, ain't no future in your front. And me and him knew what it meant because it wasn't his slogan first. Okay? It was a slogan out of the neighborhood we grew up in, ain't no future in your front. And that's what YBI boys used to tell everybody, you know. Ain't no future in your front. You talk about you working, they're going to put you to work. Well, at this time, he finds out that I'm working in mass comm or whatever. But no one else. So we start battling, you know, because you got cats from the Dungeon family, okay, Social Circle, you got Big Rube, all kind of cats from Outkast that fell through the Dungeon family. So, you know, we over in my dorm right behind the concert hall, Boyd Hall. We standing out in the field after the spot is over doing it, and we battling. My partner named Curtis Wright from Gainesville, Georgia. Shout out to Kurt. He lived up here in Athens, I think in Arnoldsville or somewhere like that. Curtis Wright was an MC from Gainesville. His partner named Doug Hendricks, Dr. Douglas Hendricks now. And DJ, dude named Greg Gottlock. We all out battling. We battling with everybody. Okay, I got CeeLo Green, all the cats from Good MOB, everybody. We just stand out. We at Fort Valley kicking it just like we do.
What year was this?
This was 1990. Yeah, this was 1990. Man, okay. We standing out just doing our thing, you know, just rhyming. This is for they weren't major, no platinum albums or nothing like this. They was trying to get on. Yeah. This was a spot they came to. We battling, okay. My thing was, okay, listen, I'm the Duracell. I'll flow as long as you want to flow. I don't care where you go at it in a topic. There is no topic that I don't cover. I felt like my vocabulary was extensive, you know.
Impeccable.
And the thing I didn't do that most cats did, and I could tell they would be breaking down is they would curse me. See, I ain't have to curse you to
Oh,
burst
you gonna go there?
Yeah,
you gonna,
yeah.
I'll see you more. You gonna use them words?
Yeah, I ain't have to curse you to burst you. That was my trademark. I ain't gotta curse you to burst you. Bow. I'll make you bust. Bow. In this vocabulary I trust. So, you know, it's a must, you know. So we start.
Check you out.
You know, I rhyme when I talk, you know. So as we going through it, and dude was like, Kurt was like, well, I'm gonna really drop on sale. So next thing you know, this dude named Nasty Black. He was from Tampa, Florida. He brings out the old school boombox like Cool J.
Yeah.
But he got
yeah.
Right.
But guess what he got with him? Ish? This
Right.
was so crazy. He got Houdini's 5 Minutes of Funk reprised with no words in it.
Wow.
And he pushed it on and was like, let's get out.
Wow.
And so we just go off into this sector, okay, and to show you how crazy it was, they battling back and forth. Okay, this is when I found out CeeLo was really cold. But they had another cat with them named the Witch Doctor.
Yeah,
I remember Witch Doctor.
He was cold on this thing. Okay, he was cold. He flowing.
This was
He's from
1990.
Atlanta.
This was like 1990. Yeah, we was down in Fort Valley.
I was in New Orleans at the time.
Okay, he spit, you know, but they weren't, you know, not knowing because Julian played
Was this
basketball.
spring or fall?
This was spring.
Okay,
Julian
I was
played
at West
basketball.
Georgia.
No, this was fall. This was fall.
Okay, then I was
Julian
back
played
in that.
basketball for Fort
I
Valley.
was in high school.
So
Y'all old.
So we kicking it like this. He
And I'm old.
Next thing you know, the beat cut off. Okay. He, you know, you got to rewind the cassette tape.
Yeah,
back. He
yeah.
rewinds it back, and Kurt, dude from Gainesville, he jump on this thing and start flowing. In the middle of his flow, he like pauses and starts sounding like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream that one day, in the middle of this flow, and took it right back over to this flow. That made me, I hopped on that thing with him then, you know, and we ride out. Afterwards, the flow, they was like, everybody was cool and kicking, and this is when they took us on their bus. But then when they found out that all the dudes they knew from the SWATs, Outkast and everybody that came through, Bree wanted to kick it with the Detroit Society, so I hooked him up with my partner Troy Bedford. He already knew who Troy was. He just didn't know Troy went to Fort Lauderdale. So he hooks everybody up, start kicking it, and then that's when they asked me on the bus, "Hey man, how many tablets have you just write in? You write in, you know?" And I was like, "I don't write." I said, "I do, but I don't have to." I said, "I do mass comm." I said, "I sit in the studio all day long." I said, "But I just read a lot." I said, "I love to read." I say, "Anything I hear, I remember." But I say, "I'm not writing anything." And so me and Witch Doctor sit down and just have a real conversation in the word. Julian Lewis, who played basketball for Fort Valley, telling him, hey, I know y'all, but y'all can't get with Sale. He said, "Listen, y'all can't, he gonna rhyme as long as y'all rhyme." You know, he was like, "That's Duracell." And I go all night long, like, till they was like, "Okay, dude, somebody should sign you." And I was like,
Was that your name back then, Duracell?
That was just one of my names. That was one of my names. My name was the DUI, the Disciples Under Intelligence. I had more than one alter ego. I had the Duracell, the Dirt Master, Mooney G, that's Mooney Giancana, or better known as Sam Giancana, the one who started Prohibition with Prescott Bush back in the day, Alessandro Sosa, and I was called myself the Colombian Monks, meaning
That's dope, dog.
yeah, I was the Colombian Monks, meaning there was more than one of me. So you know, you might start rapping against the Duracell.
Yeah.
In the middle of it, I might transform and turn into the Dirt Master.
Word up.
I might come out of the Dirt Master and be and turn into the Joker. You know, the alias villain from Batman. And I'm the Joker on this rhyme thing. Voices change and everything.
So you was like Shock G and Humpty Hump before Shock G and Humpty Hump.
Indeed.
Right.
Man.
Rest in peace again. Like, how you doing?
You know what?
We're
Now
dying
that
breed,
you
man.
mentioned that, on my turn, I gotta tell my Shock G Humpty Hump story.
Word.
Cause I got one of those. But yeah, okay, so it's on me. All right, cool. So, rest in peace, Shock G.
57, man. 57.
Definitely a
Wow.
loss. But I'm sitting here as you asked the question, what was your first hip hop memory? I'm going through a lot of them. I'm like, okay, well, I might not be able to do my first, but I could do my favorite. But since he said Shock G, Humpty Hump, let's go there. The first time I met Shock G, I was 13. And we were hustling on Canal Street in New Orleans. My pops used to sell bootleg T-shirts and tapes and all that on Canal Street. My family kind of had a monopoly on the hustle game the vending game in Canal Street.
Come on.
We used to go to Desire Projects and Ninth Ward and all of those, all the projects and stuff like that. We, you know what I'm saying, was as a little, like 11, 12, 13 years old. I'm out there with my dad and my uncles. I mean, I done seen some crazy. I've seen my uncle get shot, like crazy stuff out there, right? So this particular day, we were out there, and it was Lollapalooza.
Mm-hmm.
It was Lollapalooza, right? And they had Lollapalooza at the Superdome.
Yeah.
So I'm out there with my pops. It was me, my pops, and my cousin, and we sitting out there, and Digital Underground rolls up, including Tupac Shakur.
Wow.
This is before he got big. Right? The camera's off. Just want to let you know. So we out there, and they roll up, and I was a huge Digital Underground fan.
Oh yeah.
Huge. Digital. Partially because Humpty Hump. Okay, I used to get picked at about my nose a lot. Right?
Okay, come on.
So Humpty Hump, like, gave me confidence about my schnauzer.
All right, come on. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a part of the Big Nose
You know what I'm
Nation,
saying?
so
My
I
nose
definitely
big.
understand.
What he say? What's the line? My nose is big. I'm not ashamed.
Right.
Big like a pickle. I'm still getting big. Full-time living. Then my nose is large. Like, I was like, wow, okay, boom. So anyway, but I was one of those people who, because I remember Digital Underground when he went to Arsenio Hall, and Shock G and Humpty Hump came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of those people who I was like, is that one person or is it two people?
Right.
So anyway, we out on Canal Street, right? Digital Underground rolls up, Tupac Shakur, Money B, the dark skinned round faced nigga, I can't remember his name. But the whole crew without Shock G roll up.
Right.
And they were wilding. Y'all selling our tapes, y'all selling our t-shirts. We about to flip this table over. Right?
Wow.
Pac was the main one. I mean, he was young then. This was before he was known.
No.
I didn't even know who he was. I just remember he was the loudest one.
Right.
And it wasn't until I seen Same Song, and I was like, yo, that's him. Right? Anyway.
Come on.
So they was like, yo, we gonna flip this table over. You know what I'm saying? I remember my pop, he had a Tech 9.
That's right. Come on.
He had a Tech 9, brand new Tech 9. I was sitting, he sat down in he always used to roll in his cargo vans. That's what he put all his merchandise in and stuff like that. And we sat down, I was sitting down, he sat down in between us, and he reached over and he grabbed his Tech 9.
That's right.
He keep one in the chamber.
Right.
So he grabbed his Tech 9 and he put it behind him. And he told him very calmly, if y'all flip this table over, none of y'all going home.
Exactly.
He meant that.
Exactly.
And he meant it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he meant it. I mean, I ain't gonna go into no detail.
But you know he meant what he said.
When I say my
Pops
is
don't
official,
play.
my pops is official. You know what I'm saying? My pops is official. If y'all flip this table over, none of y'all going home. That's what he told them. And they was like, oh. So now so I went from being excited to now I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Because I know, because they was like, yo, we gonna flip the table over, we gonna take y'all money. That's like, they was his whole, and this is how he fed his family.
Right.
And we had a large family at the time, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of us, you know what I mean? So he like, look, y'all flip this table over, and I have no doubt that if they would have done it, he'd have aired them out and gotten the win.
Oh,
I have no doubt.
Indeed.
And we'd have hooked up with them, because that's actually how we got to New Orleans. We was in Houston, and something happened. I was in the car. We had an accident. He had some warrants. I remember him telling me, I was like 9. He was like, you know, get your mother to the house. My brother was a little baby, and the next thing you know, I seen him. He put his duffel bag over his back. He told the cops he was going to use the phone. Next thing I know, I seen him shoot through the projects. Cops chased him. We didn't know where he was. Uncles came and gathered us up. Maybe like a week later, in the middle of the night, moved us to New Orleans. He was inside the house. Now, he wound up turning himself in and doing a little time, whatever, whatever. But when I say he was official, he's official, right? So now I'm a little shook. I'm like, yo, because if they flip this table over, he's shooting somebody.
Right.
I already know that's going to happen, right?
It's going down.
So before it got to a head, Shock G roll up. I'll never forget it. Big afro, just a all gray sweatsuit. Just nothing on it, just a regular sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying? And he rolled up, he like, yo, what are y'all doing? I was like, yo, they selling our tapes, they selling our t-shirts, da 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 da. He said, man, we about to perform at Lollapalooza. It's not worth it.
Right.
Come on.
He's like, it's not worth it. Like, just let it go, man. Like, it's not worth it, bro. Like,
Pick your battles.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember 2 things dawned on me from there. I was like, 1, this dude is cool as hell.
Right.
That was 1. And I was like, 2, now that I'm looking at him in the face, they're the same person. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was like, okay, yeah, they're the same person. You know what I mean? And then later on that day, we met Public Enemy, like, because then, like, basketball players and rappers and stuff, they would always
Come to New
up
Orleans.
and down the street, New Orleans,
Yeah.
Jazz Fest and all that. So I've been meeting celebrities since I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Just being out there hustling. So fast forward to 2007, I think. I'm doing a show at the 40 Watt. 40. Doing a show
Shout
at
out to the 40 Watt for sure.
Fort Knox is there. And this dude walks up to me at the 40 Watt. And I was opening for Mr. Lift, Scientific, C. Ray's Walls, and I can't remember who else. Just that whole crew, that whole Cali crew.
Okay.
So dude rolls up on me at the bar. I'm sitting at the bar talking to somebody about something. And he's like, yo, are you Ishues? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna come check you out. I usually don't come and see the opening acts, but everybody I ran into since I've been here have been saying, yo, you need to go check out Issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So I remember looking at him, he looked mad familiar. And Fort Knox was like, yo, son, who are you? He was like, Shock G. Oh, snap, right? So he did one of these joints, like, you know, keep that low.
He was incognito.
He was incognito, yeah. So later on, so we had been interacting, so I was like, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see this cat. So I said, look, I know you don't remember this. When I was 13, and I ran the story down to him, right? Right? He was like, well, I don't remember that specific. I just kind of told him in passing, like, yo, this, boom, boom, boom. He was like, I can't remember that specifically, but that sounds like something that would have happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sounds like something they would have done.
They would have been wild.
And that sounds like something that I would have had to do. That I
They did it a
would've
bunch
done.
of
You know what I
times,
mean?
probably.
So later on, me and Merz was in the green room kicking it. We were just talking about life and different things. And I was like, you know what, man? We were just talking about, I said, look, you know, there's a possibility Tupac Shakur would have never been. You know what I mean? I didn't tell him about the Tech 9 and the whole dynamics of it. I just told him they got rowdy. He came and calmed it down.
Shout out to Merz and Hip Hop DX.
I told the whole story to Merz. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I was like, look, because I remember Pop was he was the loudest one.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So
He was that rah-rah nigga.
Right. So when I told him that, I guess he related to Shock. And then Shock came to me later on and was like, you know what? I was talking to Merz and he was telling me about, you know, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, I didn't know that it was like that. I said, yeah, man, like, if them dudes would have if they would have made good on their threat,
He would have made good.
it would have got ugly out there.
He'd have made bad promise.
It would have got ugly out there. I promise you, it got ugly out there. Like, my pops come from a long line of Atlantic City gangsters. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
You know, anybody know anything about Atlantic City gangsters? Like, come on, like, you know what I mean? Like, my pops is like for real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Official.
Right. You know what I mean? Atlantic City boy. Like, ain't, you know what I mean? So it was like, man, that's crazy. Bottom line is, like, from there, you know, I wound up going out to Atlanta, doing another show with them, and me, T-Bag the Herbalist was there, and Shock G came to me and after the show was like, yo, I got the keys to Stankonia. Let's go record.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, I'm gonna gather up the rest of them and let's see how many people we can get to go to the studio. So he went on a tour bus and we was talking, like, he was like, yo, let's go to the studio. I got the keys to Stankonia right here.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And they was like, nah, man, we chilling, man. Like, a couple of them had girls. They was like, nah, we chilling, man. We just got finished performing. We ain't done it. Me and T-Bag the Herbalist was like,
Let's go.
let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 3 o'clock in the morning, we went to Stankonia, opened up the studio, he fired up the board. We recorded like 2 or 3 songs. To this day, I haven't heard the songs.
Wow.
To this day, I haven't heard the song. We recorded like 2 or 3 songs. He brought out his beats and everything. We stayed up all night till the sun came up, just kicking it, talking it, or whatever the case may be. And then, so when I found out he passed, man, it was a blow. You know what I mean? Because I was always hoping to like circle back around
and come back in with that, make contact with.
Yeah, because I mean his energy was mad. I think we kept in contact for a little bit, briefly. After that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had his personal number, so I'd call him every once in a while. We'd chat it up for a little bit or whatever. But things was moving for me. So, we kind of lost touch or whatever the case may be. But I was always hoping to someday circle back around.
And run into him.
Yeah, because I mean, like, good people, when you go through life, man, meeting good, genuine people is always a treat.
You don't forget. You don't forget them.
And you never forget. So it's like, from the time I was 13, going through that situation up until, present, when he rolled up on me. He rolled up on me. It's like, yo, are you Ishues? Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? So, like.
That's a dope story.
So, yeah, man, rest in peace, Shock G, man.
Word up.
Musical genius. The dude was a genius.
Great pianist.
He's very, very underrated. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to.
Well, he helped mold the sound, bro.
Yeah,
He put a lot of that sauce on some good Tupac. He made that first album.
Because the Bay had a different flavor.
Yeah.
The Bay had a different flavor.
That was back when everybody had a great representation of their areas, and you could hear the difference, but it's not like that no more. Everybody sounds so much alike, bro.
Everybody sounds
clones.
How do we get to that point, though? How do we get to the point where, like, we talking about, we reminiscing on hip-hop or rap back in the day, where it's like, I remember when Big.L died.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I take it back even further. I remember Scott LaRock died.
Oh yeah. DJ Scott LaRock.
How much of a blow that was.
Yeah.
Big.L. Then we started to stop the violence movement because you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just one rapper died a year. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
2020, we had 200 rappers die.
Wow.
That's nuts, bro.
75% of them was either gun violence, or there was some UK rappers that died from stabbing.
Wow.
That stabbed to death, because UK they don't really do the gun joint like that out there.
And it's for you to point that out. It makes me realize how could we take some art that we created, was started from such a peaceful movement out of an oppressed situation to address these issues, but to bring some type of commonality for us, or a proclivity, I would say, for us, and we allowed an outside entity to exploit it and highlight the violence that could be in it, okay? Remember, when we first began to rap, if you look at it, we were actually pointing out what was happening in our communities on a way to try to stop it.
Right.
And how did we inject what I would say the plug of negativity that then wanted us not to only talk about the violence, but to actually go out and start incorporating the violence into our what I would say our messages, because that's what I receive when I listen to all MCs. Okay, I would receive a message from you. It was something you were trying to convey, to uplift somebody at first, or to educate at first. Then, just what you pointed to, from one rapper, I remember one rapper. Now you just okay. Do you understand? You went 100% over. Okay, not just a double up. I'm talking about you went 200 dying, and it's almost like people numb to it. It's a normal thing, and it wasn't normal for somebody to die. Like not an MC. It wasn't normal. And when you called out Scott LaRock, man,
Freaky Todd.
Yeah.
I remember Freaky Todd died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When Freaky Todd, and then of course, like, it came to a head with Pac and Big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, at that point, it was like, look, we need to do, the message, especially with Pac, was more of like, be careful of the energy you put out.
Yeah.
All right, I got a
Because
question.
at that time, Pac had got shot already.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
been
saying?
shot
And,
once,
you know what I mean?
5 times.
Right, he got shot 5 times, and then the whole thing. So it was like, the message was like, be careful of the message that you put out. And fast forward to 2020, and like I think right now we like 12 or 13, including shout out to EBE Montana. You know what I'm saying? I know him as Lil Cole from here in Athens, who I used to mentor the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even know him. Like, I've been hearing about the EBE Montana. In fact, my man Tim Hall, who we about to go do some sparring. You know, he's a fighter I'm training, and he told a whole, story about his interaction with him right before he died. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get him from off the streets, come to the gym and train. You know what I'm saying? That type of energy. I didn't know who he was because he kept referring to him as EBE Montana. I don't know him as EBE Montana. So it wasn't until I looked up the news article and I seen his picture, I almost dropped my phone. Because this is a kid. I mean, this is a kid, man. I done been to school with him. You know what I mean? I done been to see shows with him. I done had extensive contact with this kid, man. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen his face, man, I like.
So answer me this, Big Co. Why do you think we've been put in a position of being like the biggest marks as how criminals view rappers these days? Is like they'll come get you. So how do we get here?
Because they put it out there to be marks. Like, at the end of the day, man, I think social media plays a large part in this whole.
And the showing off and all that.
Because back when we was coming in, like, getting indoctrinated to hip-hop, like, artists had to really be artists. Like, in order for you to get to a record deal, like, you really had to go through some stuff to, like, get this meeting and meet this dude. And now with, like, social media, it's like it don't take anything for you to be a real star. You know what I'm saying? You do something for shock value. Like, just that whole Tekashi 6ix9ine dude. Like, this dude is like one of the most popular follow rappers in the history of rap. You know what I'm saying? And he's trash.
Yeah.
And he's celebrating a culture that we grew up with was like, oh no, you don't snitch, dog. Like, that ain't what we do. Yeah. You know, and he's famous for snitching. And like part of the fascination with this dude was he does things for shock value. And I think like when you flexing and you showing you got money phone on Instagram, like that makes you a mark. And then unfortunately, these cats build their reputation on preying on people. You know what I mean? Because like now you get street cred if you shot at a cat. Like even if you didn't kill him.
Yeah. You
shot at the cat, you make a record about it, your views go up 100,000. You know what I mean? And I think hip hop has lost its way in the sense that like I think Marcel was saying like somebody else controls it.
Yeah.
And I know you feel me on this. That was the plan from the jump. You know what I mean? That was the plan from the jump for them to have this medium that was created for us, that was initially by us, to take it over to control us. So now they're using it like Geppetto strings. You know what I mean? So like, look at how much hip hop has always set trends everywhere.
Yeah.
And now this trend is on the TV with the gun, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna shoot you and that. And like even like I was watching some of these quote unquote hip hop battles now. Like all these cats, like first of all they suck. Like they all write them. They write what they about to say.
No freestyle.
But they get the biggest response when they talk about how big the gun I pull out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what gets the biggest response. The gun bars. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like we have lost our way. Like you were saying, like we grew up with MCs that had a message. Like it was all this stuff going on in the neighborhood all the time. But we talked about it from the standpoint of, hey, we don't want this to keep going on.
Exactly.
Now they glorify this stuff that's going on. Like, hey, youngin, you can do this too. Right. You can go, hey, you don't want to work? Just go rob somebody. Yeah. Like robbing culture, like in hip hop, like that's something that was just never part of us when we grew up. Like that wasn't what we did. But that's the thing.
Back in the day when hip hop was started by real gangsters.
Yeah.
Who came together to stop the killing in the neighborhood and decided to do something different. Real gangsters was rapping about peace, love, and having fun.
Yeah.
Real gangsters, when hip-hop started, didn't rap about nothing gangster.
Right.
They didn't rap about nothing gangster.
No.
Everything different from, anything that's different from gangster, You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even talk about being gangster when hip hop first started.
Exactly.
And we went from that to where we are today.
Yeah, man.
To throwing ourselves away as Big Cole and this Cole was putting out, and you pointed out, we went and took a culture, a way of life that was educating, that was reiterating why we weren't supposed to destroy ourselves. I think about self-destruction.
Self-destruction.
Headed for self-destruction.
What
Well,
about
today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience that's bugging.
And that changed my life. It made me proud
What?
to love hip hop so
Facts.
much as a black man.
That was the first time I was able to present it to my parents.
And be like, yeah, this is something I can. You
know
won't
what
have
I'm
no
saying?
problem with me listening to.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And they killed that. And they don't want us to celebrate the individuality as black people in this world with that music.
Yeah.
And you know what was so positive about that and so real is what you said is none of the artists that participated sound the same. Everybody had their own lane or their own vein for what they were doing, but it was love, you know? It was love. Okay, that's the one thing I say about hip hop today. Love has been pulled out of hip hop, okay? Cause if I gotta bang you, don't pull the thing unless you prepared to bang, okay? Bombs over bag, now they're dropping bombs on you, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm looking at this. It was love, okay?
It was love.
Gangster was. I don't even have to tell you that I'm gangster. For me to be able to do what I'm doing, you got to know.
You gotta know it.
Soul Sonic Force. I just think about
Melly Mel, all them cats was like, they was hood cats.
They was
man.
hood cats, right? They was
They
out
was
the
hood cats.
neighborhood.
Well, I saw some of them outfits.
Africa Bambaataa.
Well, they got to be marketable. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they was doing all that stuff again to step away from the gangster
gangster.
persona.
Yeah.
These dudes was real, you know what I mean? Real gangsters, like real gangster. And they was, when I say real gangsters, like the gun culture, you know, arrived later on. You know, it don't take much to shoot at somebody.
Right.
You talking about dudes who's out there gang banging with chains and knives and
Sticks and
bats
bricks.
and you know what I mean? Like you gotta
Warrior.
like you know what I'm saying? Like it was rare that somebody had a Saturday night special or snub nose 38 or something like that or whatever the
Why
case
you
may
got
be.
that, Lil Ron?
But that's I mean, it takes real heart to kill somebody with a knife or a bat or you know what I'm saying, a chain or something like that.
It's gotta be personal.
It's different, you know. You shoot from a distance and kill somebody. That's different. You know what I mean? But these dudes was real gangsters, and they wore the funny, crazy outfits to separate
But
themselves.
some of those outfits was as glittery and as flimsy as anything that I would never wear.
No, true that. No, true that. I mean,
Says the
you know,
man.
But it was the
The orange
70s, it was
jacket.
late
Yeah,
70s,
man,
early
it was
80s.
the
So they was coming out of the
Steroid.
disco era into the normal street era.
All right,
and-
check this then. Okay, check who changed dress code for me in hip hop. You know, we had our B-boy look and everything. We still rock that. You know, as we do our thing. But I'm gonna tell you who really who really flipped the culture for his dress code.
I know you about to say. Go ahead.
Man, when Kool Mo D
Ooh.
came out with Wild Wild West, okay, you look at it. Don't look at the cowboy hat. I want you to look at what he really had on. And my man, he made a cut called dude named Dana Dane.
Dana Dane.
Danny Dane put cats on it like the Louis and
the valleys,
and the
the
valley,
silk suits,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He was
But
changed-
Slick Rick was part of that too.
Yeah,
though.
wasn't it?
Slick
The
Rick
Kango
definitely
crew.
part of
For
that.
me, it was Run DMC.
Thank you.
The leather, the black leather.
They changed the dress code in the game. They let you know that okay, you could be B-boy, but be totally fly. Okay, or you could dress hip hop and be stellar. That everything could fit. You
A
know,
lot of cats came.
yeah, right.
Big Daddy
Big Daddy Kane was probably one of my
Big
favorites.
Daddy
Everything
Kane
could
was like
fit.
that.
You know, Kwame jumped out there with the polka dots on us. You know.
Yeah, we was wearing polka dots.
Man, I seen Big Daddy Kane perform in 2020. Yeah, before the COVID thing popped. It was like 2019, 2020. Man, I was so humble.
He got the move. He still got the move.
Still
Yeah.
doing it. Still able to dance.
Great.
I told him to his face, I said, look, no, I said 1A, 1B. He was like, what that mean? I said, go, you know, after he came off stage, I was like, 1A, 1B. He said, what that mean? I said, I tell you when you come out of the dressing room. He came out of the dressing room. I said 1A, 1B. I always thought KRS-One was the best I ever seen with a microphone in the crowd.
Come on.
You two might be 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
Like what I just saw was one of the most impressive things I ever seen. He's rapping, dancing, splitting. He's older than I am. Yeah. I'm thinking like, you start thinking, man, I'm getting old.
He about 57, right?
Man, I looked at him, I was like, man, I still got room to grow.
Word. Yeah.
I still got a lot to learn. Like, oh my God, that was one of the best performances I ever seen, bro.
It's a testament to a black man being as active and just holding himself together and never being in the news.
He performed.
Stupid stuff.
Rakim performed. Rakim can't. Respect to Rakim. He can't hold a candle to Kane.
Word.
He can't hold a candle. Kane show.
Yeah, Kane.
To this day.
Kane got a whole.
And it wasn't even, look, he didn't even
show.
have no dancers and nothing. It was just him, a microphone, and a crowd. That's it.
But I say this about the 18th letter, like when he started his show, and the song comes on, he generally starts the show out with "Move the Crowd."
Yep. Yep.
And he just standing by the speaker, and the music start.
Yeah.
And then he say, "Standing by the speaker," like that's just always like super dope to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I tell you one show I went to, and I know a buddy of mine is a DJ, Keesley Lewis. I call him KTL in the ATL. But he just was dying to get me to go to, what's that young cat out of Chicago? Kick Push. What's his name again?
Lupe.
I went to his show, bro, and he's a great rhymer. But he don't know how to rock a show, a crowd like Big Daddy Kane, dog.
Yeah.
And he's great songs. It's just always hitting, but I give it up to us, the older fellas.
No.
Doing a whole
the dopest MCs on the planet are over 40.
Yeah. No
period.
question.
Yeah. Indeed.
Particularly for like live shows, you know what I mean? Like,
Because they come from the R&B era.
The dopest MCs on the planet are over 40.
We were raised on R&B before we was on hip hop.
But think about this though. When you grow up in an era where the growth of your fanship it comes from live shows or going out and actually seeing people versus your fanship grows because you put up a video and everybody start liking it. You have to know how to perform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to know how to perform because like a lot of these cats, they show up, they really garbage, but they got 100,000 followers, so it ain't none of them had 10,000 people in the audience, you know what I'm saying, who gonna like them whether they move them or not. Yeah. But like cats that grew up in our era, like, word of mouth is what it was. You know what I mean? It was no social media. So like you do a bad show. Like credibility is one of those things, like you gain in teaspoons, but you lose in buckets.
Come on, say that
so
again.
you do one show wrong, like, that could be your ass, Mr. Postman. So you gotta put everything that you gotta put, like everything you got into each show because it's gonna determine how the next show runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think too when we talking about like the denigration of hip hop, I think that's a lot of it. Like there is no work ethic.
No.
Like there is no work ethic. You know what I mean? You get a gimmick. You know what I mean? You get a gimmick and you get some dude that like sell dope in the hood and put 50 G's behind you. You can get 100,000 Instagram.
And nowadays it's not even it's the same gimmick. I posted that video on my Facebook of the 200 rappers that passed in 2020. Rest in peace to all of them. And it's like they'll have their name and then they'll show a clip of their video. A clip of their music. And I'm talking about just song after song. First of all, most of them sound the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they all saying the same. They all waving guns in the videos. And it's all the same imagery. It's all the same messaging.
They all say the same, dog.
It's all, and they're from like all different parts of the United States.
And that's the craziest thing to me, bro. Like they be from different cities and they sound the same.
And they all sound
like,
the same.
That is so crazy. And I call it the Migos effect. You know, and no disrespect to them brothers, they getting their bread, but it's the Migos effect, dog. It's like when Migos blew up, it just seemed like them in Future, like everybody wanted to mimic their style. And like at one point it was Tip. Like at one point it was Tip. I thought like everybody came out was trying to sound like Tip, but then like when Migos blew up. Like it's really hard to discern one of these cats from the other.
It is. That's right. It really is.
Yeah. You know, and I'm not saying it's not some cats that I don't rock with. Like I do like Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I be embarrassed to say it sometimes, but Lil Baby, he got some content. Like he has some substance to some of his stuff. Now a lot of the stuff that he does is the same.
Repetitive is it, but he is different.
Dude does have some stuff like that. He said, even that other cat, man, I just started, like, my partner was turning me on to some stuff the Baby was doing. And I'm like, I wasn't feeling the baby, but like he got a couple songs, but this dude is really talking about.
Yeah,
some stuff,
I like the
you know
baby.
what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I like the baby, but it's like it's just for me. You know what it is like. Around the time when the prison industrial complex was instituted.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I have a line. Actually, I've turned it into a hook in my last album, but I have a line in a song that I did called "Let It Build," and I say, rappers get signed and $1 million is given, and then their music is used as an advertisement for prison. And it's like.
Wait. You gotta rewind. You gotta say that one more time. I don't know if they felt that like I need
Shots fired.
Rappers get signed and $1 million is given, and then their music is used as an advertisement for prison.
Pull your pants up.
Brother.
And it's like, around, like, if you think about it, this was around the early 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, the crime bill was signed in 94.
Right.
Written by Joe Biden.
Smoking Joe.
Yeah, by President Police, right?
Yeah.
But this is around the time, like in the Clinton administration, late Bush administration, Clinton administration, where the private prisons became a thing.
Yeah.
Became big business, and the population skyrocketed, right?
Come on.
So it's like with any business, you need advertisement. You need spokespeople. You need people you selling a product.
Reps.
So what rap did, first of all, and I have to lump them two together until hip hop starts disassociating itself with rap.
Right.
Then it has to be in the same category.
Yeah. Because hip hop still wants some of that money.
Right, and that's how they got us.
They scared.
That's how they got us, the money.
Yeah.
They got us first worshiping the money.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And then they used that as a carrot, you know what I mean, to steer us where we are today.
Yeah.
And if you look at rap music today, all it does is glorify the behavior that will ultimately either send you to the grave or send you to... We're talking about 200 rappers that died in 2020.
Right.
We're not even talking about the how many rappers went to prison.
Yeah, or was shot.
We're not even talking about the Casanova 2 times or the Bobby Schmurders or you know what I'm saying, the dudes that didn't get killed but they're in prison.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Kodak Black and all this. Some like it's either like it's steering our young people to the jailhouse or the morgue.
Teach.
And these are things that we have to start addressing this because the thing about it is like when we were young, we just got finished talking about how when Self-Destruction came out, this was the first time we could take rap music and present it to our parents. Like, you know what I mean? Our parents were like, oh, maybe this is positive. You know what I'm saying? But before they was like, man, we ain't trying to hear that. But now parents introduce rap music to their children at babies.
Come on.
In the womb.
At babies.
With all the negatives.
With all of the negatives. In the womb, once they get out of the womb, like all this trap music and murder music and all this stuff, all this imagery. And then we wonder why our children are out of control.
Come on. Yeah,
Bro.
right.
Not to cut you off at all, but like you just like I was watching my feed the other day, man, and it was a cat. I'm in this group, like it's all like black fathers, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this cat in the group, he put up a picture, it was his daughter's 4th birthday. Mm-hmm. And it was a picture video collage. And the song playing in the background was Go Baby. That's the song that he
Throat Baby.
Exactly.
And that's sad.
That's the song that was playing on his daughter's 4th birthday birthday collage.
Wow.
I'm like,
where is this?
I'm looking at the comments and I wanted to say something, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to say like, ain't nobody got a problem with this? Like
I got a big problem.
Nobody has a problem with this?
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but it's like you say, they introduce it to them when they're in the womb, not realizing that vehicle of music, how powerful it is. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to me because them same parents, like they've gone through stuff in their life and it was music that either got them through it or music that directed them to do it. Like one of the two.
Say that again. Come
like
on,
it was either music that got them through it or it was music that directed them to do it. So like for us to like not be more cognizant and cautious of what we allow our young sponges to
absorb.
absorb.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous to me. And then it's crazy to me what they even say on the radio now.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like, it was stuff that when we was growing up, man, like either it was out or they didn't play that song.
You would have lost your job.
You know what I mean? You would have lost your job. But like the stuff that they play now, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like I couldn't let my sons are 11 and 8, so they don't listen to the radio. But they still have access through their friends, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, we'll be watching something and someone come on and they'll know the song. Like, you know that song, you know, school.
My kids, listen, my kids, first of all, my kids grew up on my music.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what my kids grew up on.
Yeah.
Like, the rap music that they knew all the words to are my songs.
Right.
That was the reason why I came out the way I came out. I remember because I was, like, I started as Anubis and, you know, in Jersey, and I was talking about street shit because that's what I was doing.
Okay, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I mean, I ain't gonna go on air and talk about the stuff I was doing, but that's what I was doing. That's the life I was living. When I had a daughter, my wife was pregnant, and I had a daughter, and I had to move back to Georgia and reinvent myself as Ishues. I remember my mother said something to me. She said, if you're gonna be in front of people, you have to have something to say.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, you can't be cursing in your music
Yeah.
because your children are gonna grow up listening to
Do
it.
it.
So those are the things that influenced me to be the artist that I became. And as my children started to grow, all of them my children are my biggest fans.
Yeah.
My children are my biggest fans. My children know words to songs I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now to present day, they don't listen to any of the music we talking about. They don't listen to it.
And-
They like my daughter. She was washing the dishes, and I'm listening. Like I hear her earbuds on loud. You know how they earbuds be loud. You can hear it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she listening to the music we talking about. I'm like, wait a minute, what you listening to? So I grabbed her earbud. I put it in my ear, and it's the rap version of the Three Little Pigs.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and she's 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's listening to the rap version. It's the trap rap version of the Three Little Pigs. So they listen. They be finding songs on the internet of like talking about Legos and stuff like that or whatever. Like they don't listen to that type of music. And I remember me and my daughter because my daughter works for our company as the balloon artist. We do face painting. My daughter do the balloons. So when they hire us out, you know, we want balloons, we want face painting. All right, cool. We did a party in Atlanta for this girl who was turning 9.
Come on.
Right?
Right.
First of all, the party was at a club.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating. The party was at a club, right? For a 9-year-old turning 9, right?
Wow.
And it was nothing but kids there, and all they were playing was the worst type of rap music possible.
Kids,
Because
right?
they think it's cute.
My daughter's 12 years old. We was in there, we was waiting. She was like, why are they playing this music? This is very inappropriate.
Vile.
Wow.
I said, yeah, I'm glad you recognize that. She was
Right.
like, this music is not appropriate.
Out of place.
For children. She was
Right.
like, she was disturbed, like, why are they playing it? And I'm saying, you see, the adults in here put that music on. You're a child and,
And
you
you
see
recognize
and you
it.
recognize it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It'd be different if you like the song. Play the instrumental. You don't have to play those vile lyrics for your kids.
That's one of the reasons why I created hip hop education when I did, because okay, I was a school teacher. Okay, I was teaching elementary kids. That's one of my I got my master's degree in middle grade education. So I started in 4th grade, teaching off 4th grade when I first started teaching. But how I used it was, okay, I wanted to be able to play my music in my classroom. I wanted to be able to take this information and give it to other teachers to help them relate to the hip hop nation. And they were like, what do you mean? I said, there's a nation of hip hop. I said, we are a hip hop generation.
facts.
I said, but there's a nation. And I said, and guess what? If you don't understand how to communicate with them, you're going to lose them later on. I say, you're trying to simulcast them testing information, but if you don't get them the information in a way that they can understand it. So when I came out, my kids learned hip hop education, my music, okay, my music, okay, presidents, ABC, states and capitals, Bill of Rights, Black History 1, Black History 2, the unknown mystery of Black history,
Wow.
Pangea, all parts of speech, the parts of speech click. I came up with PSC. Tip had his PSC, but I had PSC, parts of speech click. Okay, that was all the way from the able adjective all the way to patty punctuation. Okay, every part of it. Okay, we went to the mathematical X-Files where we broke down addition and subtraction all the way to Manny the multiplier, multiplication. But then I turned right back around and came up with the algebra serum all the way to the trigonometry trials, where I took math and turned it into rhyme all the way where you could do pre-calculus and calculus off of it if you learn these songs. So this is how I became the hip-hop educator, the original hip-hop educator, where I took the presidents. Well, I did a tour where I went up to people with a $50 bill and I said, guess what? On the streets, business suits and everything, I got $50 if you can name the 44 presidents or the 43 presidents. I give you $50 right now. To anybody. They couldn't do it. I said, watch this. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. I say, and when I would do it for them and I started doing it for kids, I say, now, how do we want kids to learn this information that we want? I would ask them the 50 states and the 51 capitals in this country. You living in it, but they didn't know it.
Right.
See,
who was your marketing guy? Like, I feel like you should be a multi-millionaire by now with that.
They was afraid of me, Big Co. They was afraid. They was like, hold on. We don't know him. How is he putting all this information out in a curriculum? I wrote my own curriculum, workbooks,
we need to circle back with that one. Yeah. I can so see my kids digging something like that.
Yeah, mine too.
And I got it in plethoras. I'm talking about. I wrote one called the Teach Mountain Ranges, called the Appalachian Mountains, the Himalaya Mountains. I was teaching mountain ranges. This is how I would teach my class.
That's dope, bro.
And they ran from it. I never forget. Right in Atlanta, right Detroit, Cleveland, Al Green Jr. I sat down with Al Green Jr. I sat down with Lazy Bone and Crazy Bone up in Cleveland off Euclid Road. I sat down with a bunch of cats, but they was like, hold on, DUI, man, listen. You wrote all of these, and you know all of these. Like, how? They was like, how? They said, you a schoolhouse rap. Instead of, I say, no, this is original hip-hop education. We won't stop till we rap the nation. That was my slogan. And this is what I push even now. And I'm looking at kids now faltering in school right now because of the same thing I was talking about 20 years ago, that their teachers of this new era would not be able to relate to the hip-hop nation because they want to stay in tradition. But tradition is a mission that has gone fishing. It's still sitting out on the lake.
Wow.
We have commercialized hip-hop, and we could be using it for this monstrous tool to educate. I remember I talked to a dude named Cam Kelly who started Flocabulary. People want to know why he stopped. That he didn't stop. He wasn't the dude that came up with it. I came up with it. That's why you ain't heard nobody go major with it. You got somebody now talking about literature camp and everything. But when you listen to their songs, they're not relating the concept because they're not really MCs. There's somebody saying, okay, I heard this guy would have got a nice concept. I can just, because anybody believe they can rap or anybody believe they're an MC. Yeah. And you're really not an MC, so it don't come across right.
You know what's crazy? Rappers are not even MCs these days.
Not at all. Yeah, at all. Master of ceremonies, they don't know how to move a show forward.
Yeah, rappers are not even MCs these days.
They can't communicate just normal thoughts and information.
I remember when me and Clifford met down in Macon, man. Clifford, we was doing this anti-gun violence rally, man. And they called him up. He was speaking about what was going on after he had came from the situation up in Ohio, Cincinnati, being shot at, losing his partner, and well, in the Macon Coliseum, it was about it was every middle schooler in B.O.W. County, from every school. They had packed the Macon Coliseum. Tip was giving a speech about the importance of gun violence and gang violence and what it was actually doing to the community from his perspective at that time. And this was part of his community service. Well, one of my partners who live in B.O.W. County, shout out to Judge Juanita Ponder, she knew, we met in school, we met in college, and she knew my program, what I was doing, so she invited me to come down, her and U.S. District Attorney Pamela Lightsey. She from over the Middle District of Georgia. They invited me to come down. So we sitting there just chopping it up, just talking. But I got this song I do called Gun Down, called Dead Bodies Don't Speak Back to Their Homeboys. I put this song about gun violence to where, and this is the first thing he said to me. He said, look, man, how come we don't know who you are with these kind of messages that you putting out? He said, he said it was a room full of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It was about 22,000 of them in the Macon Coliseum. They never heard the song. By the time we got to the second verse, everybody in the Coliseum knew, gun down, put your guns down. It only makes one sound, shots bang out, no noise, dead bodies don't speak back to the home. He was like, listen, man. He's like, listen, after I done the song, he was like, listen, I need to call you back up. He said, can you do that song without the music so they can really understand what you really saying? He said, and the kids was like, no, we understand what he's saying. We picked up on the lyrics the second time we heard the hook and had never heard the song. He was like, why we can't play it on the radio? Channel 41 they came and interviewed me in Macon. But one of the things I often say is the last place to recognize your skill set is your home. Mm-hmm. You, like you said earlier, you had to go away from home.
Oh yeah.
To do what you was doing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think about shout out to Dr. Joe Beth Allen over at the University of Georgia. Shout out to Dr. Derek Aldridge, who is at the University of Virginia right now, who was at the University of Georgia. Dr. Aldridge was the first brother to bring me to the University of Georgia with hip-hop education about 23 years
me
ago.
too.
Dr. Joe Beth Allen and the education department let me come and teach her master's level class about hip-hop education, how to relate to their students. Dr. Penny Oldfather, Dr. Talmadge. So this is how I began to do my thing. And then I just began to take it different places. But everywhere I would go, it would be that question, what you asked me, Cole. How come we can't find this? Yeah. And it was because they were saying, what you said is the industry was going another way.
Oh, yeah.
We were looking to take the industry to that positive level to use it. Well, the industry was going another. Somebody else had already, what we say, hijacked the industry to take us down this road. And Ish, you said it best. They give you $1 million, $1 million given, and you'll send the rest of your people to prison.
That's right.
Because we chasing the dollar, man, and it's so crazy, man. It's like, to me, the more positive, the more content, the more like aesthetically pleasing the music is, the less money they make. You know what I mean? Like,
hopefully they should have more longevity
like
with those.
all of the rappers that I really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm positive they ain't making a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm positive.
Right.
And that's sad because that, like we were saying, like, that was the design. You know what I mean? The design is to get us into all of this stuff that, like Ishues was saying, like, it's taking us either to jail or the graveyard.
Yeah.
And it's just, but I guess as a parent, like we are parents, like, what do we do? Like, other than like protect your household, like you do, and put a guardrail at your door. Like, I love this thing. You know what I'm saying? I love this thing, but I hate where it's going. And I would love to be a part of the boat that turned and made it go a different direction. You know what I mean? But like, how do we do this? And my son, like I said, my oldest son is 11. He grew up on Rakim. Like, his favorite song is "Every Bitch President." Like, and like he said that on the playground. They don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, and
looking for a master plan.
Yeah, like he his favorite rappers are like not golden age rappers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But his work ethic still kind of aligns with these young kids because they got the videos on YouTube and the TikTok and whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, but Dad, I want to be a TikTok artist. Nah, but that's not a part of the plan. Unless your message is something that's going to be something that we want to help change what's already on TikTok. I don't want you to be on TikTok doing what everybody else doing on TikTok.
Don't do the status
but
quo.
If you go on TikTok, you got to say something that's going to represent this household. And something that, you know, years from now, you can play for your kids.
I want to point out something real quick, and we were just talking about the self-destruction back in the day, and remember the jewelry and the culture that came along with it, and how we were celebrating how beautiful Africa was as a continent on our jewelry, and all the great things we had to say about ourselves. That's why they shut that down.
Exactly. All right, closing shots. because we got to wrap up.
Come on.
Butter go.
Closing shots. So I know you had something to say about the shirt and the hat I had on. I just want to give a shout out to my little cousin Jemias Williams from Athens, Georgia.
He ain't even at Carolina no
I
more.
know that. I'm telling you why I have this.
You
song.
know,
That's
I never
my
hold
family.
skin.
But that's my family. So
Yeah.
you know, it's just.
So you should have came in with a Georgia State shirt. Or he at Georgia
Well,
State
he's
now,
there
right?
now, but I haven't got none of those Georgia State things.
So I know this your part, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but your whole justification for wearing that is totally invalid. He don't even go to school there.
But he did. These
He
are
been
his.
sitting on that
were
the whole
his.
time.
Now, honestly, I do not like this school
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
I am really in a weird disguise.
Okay.
I got to the point in my life, dog. Most of my clothes, I've been getting rid of all my clothes. So just the few things I have, dog, I wear some of everything these days because I'm like, when I get to that next spot, when I get to go buy me another wardrobe,
Yeah.
I don't need clothes till then.
And shout out to the Williams boys. That's family. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
All right, big cold.
Yeah, so I just want to say I appreciate y'all for giving me, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to come hang out with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was just like old times to me, you know, but in terms of like, if I got something I want to leave, like, all I got to say is like, this is the beginning. This is the catalyst for how change happens. You know what I mean? Like, out of your passion for whatever you have a passion for, that's where you find your purpose.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? So like, and I know we all have a passion for hip hop, have a passion for the culture, we have a passion for these babies. You know what I mean? We have a passion for where they're going. So I'm just excited to be like reconnected with y'all brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking forward to changing the freaking world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Tell them the name of your podcast show.
So it's the Big Co Show. It's on YouTube. You check it out at Big Co TV. I have a YouTube channel. And then we're on Facebook Live as the Big Co Show. We generally broadcast on Wednesdays at 7. We go live, but you can always see like the shows on Big Co TV at YouTube.
That's what's up.
We are creating bridges.
That's what's up.
Marcel, what you got going on this week?
Hey man, just staying positive, trying to stay up one day at a time, one moment at a time. Okay, as a moment with Marcel, y'all check me out on 92.7 FM. Heart and Soul of Athens is the moment with Marcel. Also on Me You Radio, Athens, the official voice of the youth. Hip hop educator. We won't stop till we rap the nation. B.O.W, brothers on watch.
Brothers on watch.
Because I'm staying abreast of what's really happening, and I'm just really feeling good on this vibe of connecting with everybody, being able to go back and look at the importance of staying conscious, because sometimes I believe the subway takes us into a subconscious, but until we come back above ground, we don't realize the impact of what's happening underneath. So I love where Ish was going with that. We must start looking at what's really going on in hip hop from a underground perspective, because we see they pushing it uptown. They pushing anything uptown, but we not telling them what's really happening underground. And the underground railroad is still moving, still traveling. So ground roots. Put your boots to the ground, man. Let's rise.
No doubt.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Wow.
I just want to say, man, just I thank you to all you brothers for not just being here in this present moment, but also just being a big influence and contributor to, what I was able to accomplish in my life. As far as what's going on now, I feel like just, we the people, we get outraged about a lot of things, and I just feel like we need to get outraged enough to where we want to change, the direction of this music. Like, all of this can come to a stop if we just stop supporting it.
Man.
If we just as a people, as the consumers, we have the power, and we just have to get fed up enough to want to put a stop to this and change the direction of the vehicle, because it is literally leading to our decline. If we're going to have any future as a people, we need to address these things. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the direct cause of our, they're heading for our extinction. You know what I mean? In a way, man. And if we don't change it, man, we're going to be in bad shape. And our children, I'm about to be a grandfather, so, I'm looking, I'm looking ahead. So
Right.
our children and our children's children are going to be in bad shape. So besides that, man, you can check Brothers on Watch on my YouTube channel, Ishues the Artist. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram, Ishues DA_artist. Once again, man. By the way, Check out my boy Tim Hall. I'm training Tim Hall for his upcoming professional fight in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Okay.
With a co-main event. This is my professional coaching debut.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I gotta, we
Nah,
get this
coach!
victory. Yeah, it's my.
What do we do, Coach? What do we do?
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying. I actually gotta leave now because we're going to do some sparring.
Hey, bro, I'm ready to
Trying
get in the
prepare,
gym with you
whatever.
sometime
Come on,
soon because
come
I'm trying to get this whole butter thing back in the
Come
beautiful,
on.
not just butterful.
I train every day. So with that being said, man, this has been another episode. Of
Hey, real
Brothers
quick,
on
I want to
Watch.
give a shout out. My grandbaby birthday coming up. She'll be 3 years old.
Hey,
Kalia Walton, I
shout
love
out.
you, baby girl.
Shout
So,
out.
hey, it's all about the
Shout out. Happy
babies.
birthday, exactly.
Bye, Brothers on Watch. We
Brothers
got it
on
for
Watch. Bow. We out of here.
you.
Wow.
Peace.